Madam Lally and the other menfolk over at Butters Brazilian LLP scored themselves a win earlier today. Judge Peter Krupp sent him and the rest of the gang packing after requesting Myles King attorney Rosemary Scapicchio comb through over 300 plus discovery items and build it into a neat little baby chart.
I think it would be a much more productive use of time than putting Mr. Lally back on the stand or anybody else, because there are real constraints on the court's ability to provide a remedy beyond the remedy that has already been provided.
Guess Lally has time to finish that landing strip after all. Wonder if they're on Groupon.
Let's do another.
That one little patch looks sexy, though.
Does it look good?
Yeah, it looks really good.
Ooh.
It looks mantastic.
Hello, and welcome back, roommates, to another titillating edition of Alexasrewm, where we are not lawyers, we are not medical professionals, and we are not law enforcement. We are just people. People who have opinions about all things going on in the true crime community, including Norfolk County Judge Krupp really putting the corrupt in Krupp.
I need you to be on the same page. I need you to go through every single document that was produced that you base your motion to dismiss on. Every single one. You have to address every single one, okay? And you have to make a chart saying, this was produced in Discovery Packet 1. This was never produced before, okay? I don't need argument associated with it. I just need to know the universe of the problem. I need to get my arms around the scope of the problem. And then I need to know, with respect to anything that's new or substantially new or partially new, why you're prejudiced by the late disclosure of that additional information.
I understood, Judge.
So I don't have that here, right?
I thought you did. I understand now you don't follow it the way that I followed it.
Well, I don't understand it. So I need you to explain to me why you think I do have that, if I do.
Well, I think you have part of it, Judge. I don't think you have all of it.
All right. So I need all of it.
Okay.
Okay. So I understand the scope of the problem. And then I can analyze the question of prejudice after you've analyzed the question of prejudice.
Yes, Judge.
I mean, it sounds more like a you problem. God, where's Denise Galvin with their poster board and their Sharpie markers? Really helped us out the last time with the timeline, I'm telling you. Now, what I'm not understanding here is the whole point of having this hearing is so that you can understand the prejudice of the defense not receiving discovery items that are exculpatory, such as search warrants, whole affidavits instead of partial affidavits, jailhouse call recordings, and so on and so forth, to say the least. None of those items were handed over until April of 2025. Some items haven't even been turned over or are still being turned over in drips and drabs, as we're about to hear from Rosemary Scapicchio right now.
I just got to the point where I was able to send a list to them literally Monday morning saying, based on everything that you provided since April, here's what I think is new, and we all agree it's new. That's chart number 2. Here are my disputes from what you say you already gave us from the first part of your motion, and here's what we say is new from the second part of your motion. That's what I was able to accomplish in the week that we had between now and the last hearing.
All right. So you need more time to get the other stuff done.
I do.
Okay.
Yes, because in case you're forgetting, sir, there's over 300 discovery items that she needs to go through. She needs to eat. She needs to bathe. She needs to sleep. Hydrate.
How much time do you need?
It depends. I just got more discovery this morning, Judge, so it just keeps happening. So in order for me to get my hands around it, they have to be able to certify that I have everything, Judge, because I can't keep doing this piecemeal the way that they've asked me to do it over the last month and a half. So do we have everything? Because if we do, I'm happy to sit down and say this is where we are and this is where we stand. But if we don't have everything, and we're going to come back in a week, and they're going to hand me something else in the morning of the hearing and say, this is,
Well,
now this
as
is
an initial crack.
Yeah, the buy now, pay later program doesn't really work in criminal cases. Like, you can't just work out a financing plan on discovery. Because she's right. You can't keep doing this. Which is exactly what J-Lo's tour manager says every time she accidentally flashes the front row at one of her concerts. But seriously, this seems to be a trend when it comes to Adam Lally. Right? We saw as soon as the case was essentially passed over to grandfather Hank Brennan to prosect last year, that's when all of a sudden these Sallyport videos started to appear. We didn't really know who had what, if anything, where, if anywhere. There was no metadata. All that was left was a wasted trip at the expense of Karen Reed and a Post-it note. So with Norfolk County's whole buy now, pay later program, it'll be interesting to see how this continues to unfold over the course of the next several weeks. Pulling teeth without the Novocaine. I'm tired of it. I'm sure they're tired of it too. Because now, instead of spending the afternoon getting somewhere and getting to the source of the problem, Krupp, and figuring out why these items that weren't turned over in a timely manner or at all is prejudicial to the defendant in this case and doesn't allow for a fair and speedy trial. Speaking of other witnesses who were subpoenaed in this case, Brian Teletully was seen outside the courthouse today, gearing up for his next shift at FedEx. Also seen scantily clad was the back of Michael Proctor's head. Looks like he missed a spot over there. Yes, Michael Proctor was seen exiting the courthouse today following his dismissal, dressed like Matt Murdock from Daredevil, accompanied by his seeing eye dog, Daniel Moynihan. Shout out to Turtle Boy Live, aka Mr. Media. I will link this in my show notes below if you want to check out the full video.
We have a case, that's all I'm going to say.
Mr. Proctor, would you like to say anything about the O'Keefe family?
Any comment about your wife calling people's jobs to get them in trouble?
Wonder what happens if you rub their heads together. Anybody else? No? Okay. Also, Danny Boy's tie looks like a knockoff Coach bag you'd buy on Canal Street.
How's the diet going? Good?
What a great question to kick things off. And yes, while Chip is beginning the process of slowly transitioning into a full-time russet potato, attorney Daniel Moynihan is morphing into what a russet potato looks like after leaving it in your pantry for 3 weeks and it starts growing googly eyes. Meanwhile, in other news, Alan Jackson called into the Greg Hill show earlier this morning where he confirmed that he will be, in fact, joining Karen Reed's civil defense team along with Eliza Little.
I was just sort of generally referring to something I'm very excited about, which is I've agreed to join Karen and her very capable defense team in the civil action. So I'll be coming back to Boston. You haven't seen the last of me yet. The really good news is I'm going to be bringing Elizabeth Little with me as well. So the band is not just staying together, getting back together, but we're intending on writing a few new chapters.
Yeah, so step aside, Cher, because it's Alan Jackson who will be singing You Haven't Seen the Last of Me. He also agreed that yes, taxpayers should be concerned about exactly how much money Meatball Morrissey has spent persecuting Karen Reed.
Speaking of that, of the DA's office, should the taxpayers in this state be concerned with how much was spent on both of these trials?
Oh, God, yes. Yeah. This is the DA's office serves at the pleasure of the public. He's an elected official, and he's got responsibility to the public for their confidence and to their pocketbooks. I have no idea how much they spent. I know how much we spent, and I can imagine they spent as much or more. I mean, there were millions and millions and millions of dollars of taxpayer money spent that was completely unnecessary because of a persecution, not a prosecution, because of some sort of a personal vendetta. After the first trial, everybody knew what had happened inside that jury room, inside that deliberation room. She was acquitted. I've talked about this, the fact that Karen and I and our team may be the only attorney-client relationship where we've actually acquitted someone of murder twice in the same case with the same charges. They knew that they couldn't prove this case coming out of the first trial. They knew they couldn't prove the case going into the first trial, and that they pressed forward. And then, of course, following the debacle of the first trial and the joke that was the unrecorded verdict, they forged ahead again. And it was it turned from a professional objective prosecution of a case to a personal vendetta, and it cost the taxpayers millions and millions and millions of dollars. I mean, just their special prosecutor alone, his bill was north of $500,000, closing in on $600,000, just him, for a completely failed prosecution.
Didn't Kate Peters say Hank Breenham was working at a special discounted rate? Unless he's working for Cole's Cash. And with that being said, if you enjoyed today's content, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you do not miss the next video from me. They come daily. They come fast. They come furious. But not as furious or bald as Vin Diesel. Make sure you hit that like button because that tells the YouTube algorithm that this is newsworthy news. And it is. We got the Commonwealth pulling the same kind of shenanigans that Judge Beverly Canola Oil, bless her soul, let them get away with all throughout the first and second persecution of Karen Reed. And it looks like they're fixing to get away with all the same shenanigans once again. So, thanks so much for watching. And until then,